Good evening, everybody. I am Nicholas Milonni once more, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to touch on what's been happening lately in regards to the Middle East situation, and talk briefly about what's been going on between the United States, Israel, and trying to work out the whole peace deal and peace negotiations going on with Hamas and all of the issues surrounding that. We have this article here from the Daily Mail tonight. Trump unloads on Netanyahu during phone call for being so effing negative day before pivotal meeting. President Donald Trump dropped the F-bomb as he hit out at Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during a phone call discussing a potential ceasefire deal with Hamas. The president called Netanyahu on Friday to share that Hamas signaled that it was ready to negotiate the release of all their Israeli hostages, and was reportedly left surprised when the Israeli Prime Minister did not share his enthusiasm. Bibi told Trump, "This is nothing to celebrate and it doesn't mean anything," a U.S. official with knowledge of the conversation told Axios. Trump then reportedly fired back, "I don't know why you're always so effing negative. This is a win. Take it." The unidentified U.S. official also claimed the dynamic between the two world leaders in Friday's call was contentious and that Trump was left annoyed. So, maybe their negotiations and relationship aren't all that great at the moment. They both appear to be kind of frustrated with one another, and we're going to see how it plays out from here. Those familiar with the conversation on both sides described how Netanyahu viewed Hamas's response as a rejection of Trump's plan, and he wanted to coordinate with American officials on their response to avoid the narrative that Hamas answered the call for a ceasefire positively. Meanwhile, Trump said that there have been very positive discussions and saw Hamas's actual response as an opening for a deal. Despite what they described as a tough and firm discussion, U.S. officials emphasized that Trump and Netanyahu eventually reached an agreement. "Ultimately, President Trump wants peace, and that's what matters most," one of the officials said, "as do I." And as most Americans, I would hope, probably do. Thing is, once again, if you know me, you know what I'm about to ask. Why are we getting involved in this? And I understand maybe there are some Americans that are being held hostage by Hamas, and we should certainly, we'll talk about that in a minute. But again, I mean, this kind of seems like something that we shouldn't really be that involved in. Aside from maybe the hostages part, and we'll get to that in a minute. The negotiations have been arduous, leading Trump to curse out Netanyahu several times over the past few months, so yeah, this isn't the first time. In June, the president went on a tirade when both Israel and Iran violated a ceasefire. Quote, "We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the F they're doing," he said, before boarding Marine One en route to a NATO summit. Yeah, I remember that video. That was back from a few months ago, and I remember it quite well. So that was interesting to see, to be sure. It was also revealed last month that Trump had been complaining about Netanyahu's preference to use military power over negotiations and a ceasefire to resolve the ongoing war in Gaza. But an opening for negotiations came last week when Hamas, a designated terrorist organization that has ruled over the Gaza Strip since 2007, expressed their openness to releasing the remaining hostages. We have this video here that Trump actually made, which details the whole thing. We could take a look at that for a minute.
I want to thank the countries that helped me put this together: Qatar, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and so many others. So many people fought so hard. This is a big day. We'll see how it all turns out. We have to get the final word down in concrete. Very importantly, I look forward to having the hostages come home to their parents and having some of the hostages, unfortunately, you know the condition they're in, come home likewise to their parents, because their parents wanted them just as much as though that young man or young woman were alive. So I just want to let you know that this is a very special day, maybe unprecedented in many ways. It is unprecedented, but thank you all. And thank you all to those great countries that helped. We were given a tremendous amount of help. Everybody was unified in wanting this war to end and seeing peace in the Middle East. And we're very close to achieving that. Thank you all, and everybody will be treated fairly. I want to
Yeah, I sure hope so. I sure hope that we're close to ending it. And I hope that this is nearing the end. Because quite frankly, I'm kind of sick of this war. And I'm sick of the United States' involvement in it. I really don't understand the American-Israeli relationship. Um, because it seems like in many ways, we're kind of being told what to do by Israel, and that just doesn't sit right with me. Why is Israel, a country smaller than the state of New Jersey, telling the United States what to do and utilizing the United States for its own interest? That doesn't seem right. If anything, we should be utilizing Israel. And I don't want to do that, but it doesn't make much sense to me. It doesn't make much sense to me. It is also said, or it also said it is ready to cede governing control to a Palestinian Authority of Independence, the Hamas. It also said it was ready to cede governing control to a Palestinian Authority of Independence technocrats based on Palestinian national consensus and with reliance on Arab and Islamic support. Following the phone call with Netanyahu on Friday, Trump insisted the Israeli Prime Minister had gotten on board. Netanyahu had reservations, but I told him that this is the opportunity for victory, Trump told Israeli television's Channel 12 on Saturday. He accepted it. There is no other choice. With me, you have to be okay. Bibi went too far in Gaza, and Israel lost a lot of support in the world, Trump added. Yeah, that's very, very true. Now I will bring back all that support. I don't know if that can be done, honestly. Even if you're a supporter of Israel, you got to admit some of the stuff that's happened in this conflict is very, very nasty. It's very nasty. And it's not been a good look for him. It's not been a good look for him. The young population here, especially in the United States, is not very gung-ho about Israel, on the right or the left. They're just not. So when it comes to the future prospects for Israel, at least in the United States, it's not looking too good at the moment. Netanyahu then also released a recorded video message praising Trump and emphasizing the parts of the U.S. president's remarks that he agreed with. Hours later, he also abided by Trump's calls to halt airstrikes on Gaza. By Saturday, Trump claimed Israel had accepted an initial withdrawal line, a plan that has been shared with Hamas officials as well. When Hamas confirms, the ceasefire will be immediately effective, the hostages and prisoner exchange will begin, and we will create the conditions for the next phase of withdrawal, which will bring us closer to the end of this 3,000-year catastrophe, the president wrote on Truth Social. If it's been going on for 3,000 years, do you really expect to be able to stop it? I hate to say that. I'm usually a pretty optimistic person, but your odds ain't exactly looking too good, are they? 3,000 years? Come on. 3,000? 3,000 years. I don't know, man. Yet the Trump administration's 20-point plan has not been fully agreed to by Hamas. Under the proposal, Hamas would be expected to release all the hostages, which Israel would have to release 250 life sentence prisoners plus 1,700 Gazans who were detained after October 7th, 2023. Yeah, we're coming up close. That's actually tomorrow. October 7th is tomorrow. So it's gonna be the 2-year mark since this whole mess started. Including all women and children detained in that context. Trump is also ordering Israel to resume full aid into the Gaza Strip, even if Hamas ends up rejecting the proposal. Perhaps the most important parts of the proposal state that Israel is not to occupy or annex Gaza, and that no one who lives in Gaza will be forced to leave. This is quite the departure from Trump's initial plan to have the United States own Gaza and redevelop it to make it the Riviera of the Middle East. That was always a joke, I think. I don't think he was ever serious about that. He was just kind of messing around. But certainly, if it was the case that he actually wanted that, I would not support it. I think that's ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure he was joking. However, the plan did say there would be a Trump economic development plan to rebuild and energize Gaza. May I ask who's going to pay for that? Um, Serious question. Who's going to pay for that? I don't think Americans should pay for that. And we better not be paying for it. I'm not saying we are. I'm just saying don't make us pay for that. Nobody wants it. Nobody cares about it. In order to now get the proposal through the finish line, Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff and his son-in-law Jared Kushner are traveling to Egypt, where indirect negotiations between Hamas and Israel are expected to begin on Monday. In the meantime, the president has expressed optimism that a deal may finally be reached. There have been very positive discussions with Hamas and countries from all over the world, Arab, Muslim, and everyone else this weekend to release the hostages, end the war in Gaza, but more importantly, finally have long sought peace in the Middle East, Trump wrote on his Truth Social page Sunday night. These talks have been very successful and proceeding rapidly, he continued. The technical teams will meet again Monday in Egypt to work through and clarify the final details. I am told that the first phase should be completed this week, and I am asking everyone to move fast. I will continue to monitor this centuries-old conflict, the president concluded. Time is of the essence, or massive bloodshed will follow, something that nobody wants to see. Okay, now we have this article here from NBC, excuse me. Who are the American hostages still held by Hamas? This is actually from September, what is it? September 23rd. Okay, so this is it's about 2 weeks ago. This was done. At least 97 people kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th are still in Gaza. 3 of the 7 American citizens are believed to be dead. So does that mean they still have 4 American citizens held hostage? And I have to ask, this is going to make me sound, some people may not like to hear this, but I have to ask, are they from America, or like were they living in America? They just went to visit and then they got caught up in the mess, or are they living in Israel? They just have American citizenship because you can have dual citizenship here. I don't understand why. I don't think any country should be allowed to have dual citizenship here. If you're here, you're an American citizen. That's it. You don't get to be a citizen of Israel and America. You don't get to be a citizen of Russia and America. You don't get to be a citizen of China and America. You are an American, that's it. If you can be citizens of multiple countries, then what the heck does a citizen even mean? What does it even mean to be a citizen if you can be a citizen of more than one country? I think that's a question worth asking. And if these American citizens were just living in Israel, I gotta admit, and I hate to say it, I have a hard time really caring about them. I know that sounds bad, and maybe I shouldn't quite say that, but I'm just being honest. I think it's a question that's worth asking, and am I concerned about them? Yeah, but I question really just how American these folks are. All due respect, and maybe they are Americans, but I don't know anything about them, and perhaps that requires some further research. So we're going to keep on monitoring the situation here and getting into it, and we'll be sure to let you folks know if anything else comes up, anything interesting. Hopefully we have a peace deal worked out soon. I would love to see that. I'd love to get the American country out of this whole affair. I think it'd be good for all of us. And I'd really just kind of like nothing more to do with it, as I'm sure many Americans probably also would. So we're going to keep on taking a look at it. Make sure you subscribe. Please do subscribe. All right? That would mean the world to me, and I know that I can persuade you to stick around. So please do subscribe. And make sure you like the video and put your thoughts in the comment section below. I will read all of them with great interest and respond as well. So please give your 2 cents in the comment section. I'd love to read what your thoughts are on the whole situation. And thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you very much. Take care.